Hey guys, how you guys doing today? So this is a little impromptu. I tried to get in talk to CT, but I guess I did it too late. But I still wanted to go live, so I did put the link in the description. Hey Merc, and thanks for posting the Discord channel earlier when I just put up that stuff. Um, Susan, I hope these allergies are driving everyone nuts, and especially the leaves. I had a really crazy day, but I am happy to say I'm happy I got finally getting to relax. And I did want to shout you out more because I know you've been busy in the background and we had good news, but at least you're back right now. At least all the good news is out there. And I know CT probably would have came on if I told him way earlier in the day, but it's been a crazy one. And I know I just posted the link in the description if anyone wants to come on. I'm just I just have some thoughts about like after talking to CT yesterday on the stream about this Yankee team, and I've seen some stuff that people are reporting. Alonso's wanting 7-year deal. I don't think we're going to be going after him if that's the case. I also think we're going to be seeing I I'm not sure if everyone sells. The other thing is Gleyber Torres actually has a hernia and he's having surgery. That's an interesting thing. An interesting news. And the reports are one of our former pitchers on the Pirates. I believe Dennis Samian or something like that. I'll put you on, Jonathan. I'm adding you right now.
Hey,
Um, hey, did you hear about the Pirates former Yankee reliever they're putting on the market once the offseason starts?
no. From
Dennis
Dennis Santana. Yeah.
Santana. Yep.
Yeah.
He
I think I heard something about that. But
Yep, that's the guy. That's I just went on MLB rumors just before that I came on and I saw some of those things. I'm not sure he's getting 7 years, Alonzo. I could
yeah,
see
I
Pirates
don't think Alonso will get 7 years. He might get
31.
7 years. He's 31. I think he gets six.
I think 6 plus maybe an option, a team option.
Maybe a six with an option. That would. If I was Alonso, I would do a deal like that.
Yeah, and the other thing I was looking at, Gleyber Torres actually has hernia, and that he's having surgery on that now too.
Yes, I saw that as well.
That's some
I'm
interest.
just curious about what's happening. What's going to happen with the Yankees going forward? Hi,
Yeah,
Susan. Hi, John.
yeah, no, it's been a really crazy, interesting things. I'm not sure if you heard. I'm hearing that maybe the Mets closer Diaz might be opting out of his deal with the Mets. I
Well,
heard.
that's not a surprise. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. If
Yeah,
he goes to a free agent, he can get more money.
there's not a lot of dominant closers out in the thing. He'd be the guy to get. He did
Exactly.
opt out. Oh, he
Yeah.
did opt out. Okay, perfect. I thought so, but it just that's what I heard. I just didn't see like a legit source, so that makes me feel good.
Let me look at the rumors on the Mets.
Yeah.
Pete Alonso. They have a pitcher getting Tommy John. Mm.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees did trade one of their starters for a position player.
Yeah, I think the Yankees have a lot of starters. I think also with the way Will Warren pitched, I think his value is very high right now. So he might be a player think about trading.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we got him for like I could see them maybe going after like a shortstop possibly, or maybe relievers, high end reliever.
Well, the Yankees have a lot of roster decisions to make after the World Series, so I expect them to make a couple trades. Because if they don't make trades, they're going to
We
lose.
have a
They have a lot of players that are up due for a Rule 5 draft. So if you don't trade them, you just lose them for money, $50,000, which is nothing.
if it yeah, and then we always get killed in the Rule of Five draft.
Well, that's my point. My point is choose who you want to protect, and if you don't have enough room, trade the players that you can't protect and try to improve the team. I think
I don't. I
I
think
think
it's.
Jim is going to get a qualifying offer. I think they want to keep Bellinger more than Grisham.
My belief would be is that they're gonna bring back one or the other, not both.
No,
I
no,
see.
they're not gonna get both. I know Grisham wants a multi-year deal, so he very likely will not accept a $22 million qualifying offer. If I
Well,
was the Yankees, I would give him a qualifying offer.
we'll see what happens with that because we all have like we say give him a call and then people say, well, if he's what if he accepts? Well, if he accepts, you trade him. It's like
Well,
T-Mobile.
you cannot only you have to sometimes take risks. You
Yeah.
have to Grisham. And the one thing they have to think about. Grisham had his best season this year. His best season. There is no guarantee he does a season like this again. This now is his highest value he has ever been in this season. And going into free agency, why would he risk accepting a 1 year, $22 million when he possibly could get 80, 70 million or 100 million from another team? And I know the Mets want Grisham. The Mets are dying to get Grisham.
I let him go and I would let him walk.
As I said, I would do the same as I did with Soto. I would give him a qualifying offer and let him make his own decision.
Yep. That's what I kind of figured.
I am not willing to bet the farm on Grisham. You're not betting the farm on Grisham. Grisham, even if he accepts, it's only a qualifying offer is only a 1 year deal, which as I said, he would not. He would be very dumb to accept a qualifying offer because there is no guarantee he has a year as good as he did this year. So he's probably going to get $80 million from a team somewhere. Why would he accept $22 million from a Yankees when he can get $80 million or more?
Yeah. There he said. Yeah. No. Eagle said he chose his words bad. Get him with a cheaper calling it silent. Cheaper QO to get him cheap if
And
he
get him
accepts.
with you can't a cheaper.
You can't.
A qualifying
You,
offer is one number set. It's
standard stuff.
it's a
It's a
standard
standard.
number. It's the top 100. It's the average of the top 150. It's the top
Players.
150. What's the word I'm thinking about?
Are you thinking players?
Contracts. It's
Contracts.
the average of the top 150 contracts in baseball. That's how they get the number of the qualifying offer.
Beagle, you would have to let him.
It goes up every year.
Yeah, no, Beagle might. If you're looking at to get him cheaper, you let him get on the free agent. You don't offer him a qualifying offer. You offer him a contract, and that's how you get the line down. But Honestly, I don't think. I think the Yankees are gonna walk away from him. I think they're afraid, like with Hicks. I mean, the Mets really want him. There's a few other teams that really want him that need center fielders. Phillies.
Yeah, I mean, looking back, they should have done the same thing with Hicks, offering a 1-year qualifying offer. If he accepts it, he accepts it. It's a 1-year deal. If he doesn't accept it, he goes somewhere else and he signs a multi-year deal, and the Yankees get compensation.
Yeah, no, that's why I said. To me, that's how I look at this stuff. I don't. I think the Hicks contract, if he didn't get injured, he would have been fine. That contract would have been great, but he did get injured,
Well, you
and
cannot.
that's
Injuries are the one thing. Just like Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo, if he didn't get injured this this year, I think it was. Was it this year or last year he got injured?
it
Rizzo.
was. Susan, it was. I wouldn't say it was a mistake on Hicks. I would say it was. They
It was
got
a
him on
big,
a. It was a
a
small.
big mistake was Ellsbury's contract.
I would
Ellsbury,
say Ellsbury was a bad contract. I would say you can say Pavano,
Pavano,
Garrett, what right?
Garrett Wright.
You can. I want to say Hicks was a bad contract. If he played like he was and didn't get hurt, that would have been a steal, honestly. Um, but he did get hurt, and that's baseball. I mean, there's some risk every time you give a big contract out. I mean, look at Rodon's first year. He was injured. He didn't live up to that contract the first year, but the last 2 years he's been pitching like owns that contract. Sometimes it just happens.
Yeah, look, Judge. You can say the opposite of the thing about Judge. Judge made a bet on himself. He got a big contract for 9 years, and he looks like a steal at $40 million a year.
It is a steal. Look at what Soto's making. If Judge could go into the free agent, if he could somehow go into free agent, he'd be the first. He would be the first $1 trillion, like $1 billion player. He would be. He's better than Soto.
Yes, but also Judge is. I remember
Older
Judge is
too.
older.
No, but I mean,
If Judge was playing the way he is, if Judge was 25 years old, going into free agency right now, he would probably get 900 or $1 billion for 15 years.
yeah,
Giants
yeah,
did,
they,
Giants did
yeah.
offer more than the Yankees.
The Padres even offered a bigger contract than the Yankees did too. Hey, Bill. Yeah, hey, Bill P. Yeah, no, the Padres offering a big contract too. It's we're finding out more about some of these contracts. Padres wanted him. That'd been interesting too. If
Yeah, well, there's going to be, regardless of what they do, there's going to be a lot of choices to make, and there's a lot of people on the roster they have now that they can just drop. They have at least 5 players on the roster that
they can,
doesn't even play. I mean, I don't know Michael Arias. I haven't seen it. I think he's been hurt all year, but he's on the roster.
yeah.
You
There's a
have,
few players.
yeah, you have Jake Bird. You can
Hey,
drop him.
Bill.
Yelly,
Yeah.
Yelly De Los Santos. I don't know what you want to do with him. Scott Efros, I would drop.
That's too. Yeah, I would thought non-tech. No, isn't. I'm just thinking is Frost still have more options in these years? I don't
He
think
has
that.
years on his contract. Yeah, or
I
he
don't.
has options. I think he has another option. Yeah, even Ian Hamilton, I would get rid of.
I could see them packaging Hamilton for some team wanting them, like to get like a small,
Well,
like a
if
fringe roster.
look, they have Loizaga, they're gonna drop. I
He's
think
a free agent.
he's a free agent. Weaver,
Yeah,
Williams.
yep. And then
I'm
you
not
have
sure if Yarbo comes back. Tim Hill.
yeah, Susan. He's on the 40-man roster. They just optioned him.
Everybody I'm saying is on the 40-man roster.
Yep, you will see Elmer Cruz, Rodriguez Cruz will be on the major
Yeah,
leagues, and
they need to protect him from the 40-man roster. You
and
have
then Grande.
Goldsmith
Yeah,
gone,
Goldsmith.
Rosario gone.
I
I
could see
think
them bringing.
I could see them dropping Jorbert Vivas. I don't think they
I,
need him on the roster.
I think they. I think we might see him in a trade.
Maybe
I can
because
see. I can see him on.
they had an opportunity to play him more, and they didn't give him many opportunities. Yes, Hamilton is still on the team,
Yeah,
but
yeah. No,
Mark, they have to protect Elmer Rodriguez Cruz from the Rule 5 draft after the World Series.
that's why we're mentioning these players because there's that there you can free up spots to keep these 40-man guys on the roster, and then you have to figure out. I don't.
I don't see William. I honestly don't think Williams or Weaver will come back. It's possible, very small possibility that Williams might come back, or they offer him a qualifying offer. But with the way the Yankees have been operating in recent years, I highly doubt it.
I could. I think Weaver's more of a choice to come back than Williams, even though he said he's willing to come back. And I really do see Rosario coming. I could see the Yankees going to Rosario and saying, "What do you need? How much money do you need to be back here?"
Well,
Because I think he really.
remember that the one option you're not thinking about in that scenario. They're getting Cabrera back next year. Cabrera was hurt all year this year.
Yeah, he's our like Swiss Army knife one for us.
Yeah, but
Um,
so is Rosario. Rosario can
yeah,
play multiple bases, multiple
I
positions.
know, and that's why I think that it'd be really smart because then you have if you really need to take people off, like Rosario can play infield, and he doesn't he play outfield too?
I don't know. I'm. They have to make a choice of whether to keep Jake Cousins as well.
Cousins is coming off Tommy John. He should be back. Um, Cole's coming back with Tommy John surgery. We have, and yeah, Rosario does hit, and that's something that I really like about him. He hits lefties really well, and that's something we've been struggling with.
Well,
I I think we also need a few more right-handed bats in this lineup too.
yes,
It's getting
we need a couple more right-handed bats. The Yankees, for some reason, they're overly left-handed.
we were last year we were too righty, and now we're too lefty. There's need to be a that I don't know. Susan, we're not sure with Goldie. He said
Goldie is a free agent.
he's
He's
a
going to
free
be a
agent.
free agent. I don't know if he's retiring, but I don't think he's returning to the Yankees. And I honestly, it's possible they even trade Ben Rice.
I could see a scenario where we trade Rice, but I think it has to be the right player. But I really don't see a lot. If you we have to, I mean, you got to really, um, you got to really have to figure out. Cashman has to really figure out what he wants to do with all these positions and then execute a game plan. Because the way the roster is constructed is kind of funky a little bit. Because you have two lefty catchers, not like a right-handed bat off for one of them. We have three of them on the roster, all lefties, and we traded all the right-handed ones. There are some that could take over for Wells if we did just in the off, but they're all 40-man. It's just the roster construction needs to be a little bit better in my opinion. But what do you think, Jonathan?
I think they're going to make a lot of roster moves. There's there's a lot of players to move around, and there's going to be a bunch of there's going to be a few trades before December. I think so.
Yeah. Susan, for that.
What can be done with Volpe? I don't think I think in my opinion I would move on from Volpe. I think we've given him 3 years and he's only regressed. He has not improved one bit in 3 years. So I would move on from Volpe. I might even package him in a trade. He is. You have a bunch of young shortstops in your minor league system. Use one of them for next year if you want to save money. The problem is they traded a bunch of young players that could replace him immediately.
Yep. Sweeney's up in the majors with the Tigers. That's what someone I liked.
One guy I liked who they traded, and I hate that they traded him, was Josh Smith in the Joey Gallo trade.
Yep. He was a good one. There's a couple guys we traded that were good from them.
Yeah.
I don't think we could.
Yeah, I would have put my money on Josh Smith rather than Volpe.
I would say for Volpe what we can get. I don't think we're gonna get much. I don't think he has a lot of value.
Volpe's value is it's
One to none.
it's possible you could trade him for either a draft pick or a low level minor leaguer.
I would say it's a fringe prospect.
Yeah.
Probably a fringe. That's what I would do.
Maybe a fringe prospect and some
international
money in the international signing bonus money.
And Merck, I don't even want to. That labrum didn't help his cause, but before he even got injured, he was having these higher. He had these real highs and really low lows, and it was more lows than anything. Hey, Jacob, it's just I just don't see Volpe. You're not really going to get much. I could see them non-tendering them if they really want.
Yeah,
it's one of those weird.
I would just trade him. Honestly, I would trade him. The one sign that the Yankees did this year that tells me they're moving past. They're not. Volpe is not a long-term option.
Getting help really.
No. The one sign that I saw is that during the draft, they drafted 6 shortstops.
Yeah, they did, and a couple of them they can move. They're gonna move. They have there's that guy from Jeff.
Five shortstops. So
yeah, I heard.
You don't draft 5 shortstops and 3 of your top 4 picks were shortstops. If you intend on keeping Volpe.
Yeah, no, that's true. They did draft that. I think one of them was Jeff Kent's. Was his son.
I'll tell you just the top 5 picks. I have them right here. Dax Kilby, Caden Kent, Pico Khan, who's a pitcher, Corey Jackson was another shortstop, and Rory Fox is another pitcher. So Volpe, I think if Volpe is still on this team next year, I think that they have 2 choices. They can non-tender Volpe, or they will trade or drop him.
Susan, for Lombard Jr., he needs at least another season. He needs to.
Lombard
needs more.
Yeah.
He needs more seasoning. His defensive is major league ready. His bat needs to come around, and that's what they're going to be doing.
Remember, he's just what is he? Is he 19 or 20 years old?
20 years old. They drafted him right out of. This is his second year in the minor leagues, and he's already in Double-A. So that's a really good thing.
I think, Susan, you'll have your answer in the spring training next year. You'll see Lombard in spring training next year, and I think he will start the season in Double A.
He'll be in Double A. He'll probably get once they figure out his bat. I could see them him getting promoted to Triple A and just letting him develop there more.
I
Kind
could,
of.
I could actually see.
There is a scenario where I could see them bring him up, but I don't want to. That'd be like later in the year. I don't want to even go that far yet. I just want to see him get developed, get his bat back where it was like in the back down there,
I could
get it
actually
ready to.
see Spencer Jones on the team next year if they don't sign Bellinger.
I think we're gonna see Jones up next year. No, I think they're
We're
doing.
gonna see him up, but if the Ja- if they miss out on signing Bellinger, I could see him at opening day.
I could see them doing that. I mean, they they really value him a lot, but at the same time, they had plenty of times to bring him up and they never did. So it's kind of
They
like,
had a crowded outfield. But that was the problem. They had too
yeah,
many guys in the outfield. If they had more room on the roster, I guarantee you he would have started September.
yeah. I really, to me, I would really think Jones is going to be something really good, and I really good to see. And I think I could see Judge and helping him out up in there because he had learned a lot from his hitting coach. I know he's been working with all these other things. Susan, they tried trading Jones and Lombard Jr. and I'm not sure if you heard about it. They tried to get Paul Skeens and the
Yeah,
Pirates said no.
yeah,
They were willing to
they had both of them
in the same package.
for Paul Skeens, and the Pirates rejected. Uh, I would have done that deal. I would have traded Jones and Lombard for Paul Skeens and probably another
Probably I think there was
a pitching prospect.
yeah. No, it's one of those things I saw.
My guess is if they did Skeens for Jones, Lombard, and maybe Schlittler, Pirates may have liked that trade.
I could have said I could say that, or you could have might have put in with Gill in there. He's ready to take over.
Who?
Gill.
Gill. I don't think the Pirates wanted Gill because he has an injury. He had injury problem. I think they would want a young pitcher similar to Schlittler.
Maybe Hess might be that or Cunningham.
Maybe has look. If you're getting a guy like Schlittler, you better be prepared to trade your best young talent.
Yeah. No, I really liked it. I really like Shuttler. I rather keep him. I think he reminds me of
I
like
would keep. I would. Yes, I like him. I would keep him. But for Paul Skeens, I would. I wouldn't. It wouldn't bother me to trade him. Only for
yeah,
Skeens.
yeah, no. I think he's gonna be just as good as Skeens eventually.
Probably.
Just
Probably. But that's unlikely right now. I don't think Pirates are trading him unless they get blown away.
yeah, I really don't. I could see them when he gets to the arbitration years, he gets traded. That's usually when they do. They keep him for cheap, and then when it starts to get expensive, that's when they trade their good players.
Well,
That's what I know.
that's the business model. I if I was a fan, I probably would not like it, but it is what it is.
Only one that I really wish we try to get was Brendan, what was it, Reynolds from the
Ryan
Pirates?
Reynolds.
Yeah, the left fielder.
Yeah, they should have got. They should if they wanted him, they should have got him 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about when we had they had a
I know Jason wanted him 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's when I remember that off season. We were in the chats we were talking about. I'm like, why? Yeah, I
Yeah, and
remember us
I'm
talking.
looking what the Muck said. I do think Volpe had an injury. He probably had a torn labrum similar to Judge, and I don't know why the Yankees don't rest their players when they're injured. If Volpe really had a serious injury and he was playing and he was making a fool of himself in the field, the Yankees did him a very big disservice. They made the fans hate your players. Yeah, I think it's time for Brian Cashman to and the analytic department to just be replaced.
I,
Brian
I
Cashman, I think they need a GM who knows more about the modern way of baseball, not someone who's been there for 30 years.
I know we always say. I know a lot of people say if you want to. I know Jason does this all the time, and I go, okay, if you want to move on for Cashman, who do you bring in that's better than him?
Well, I'm sure they could find people. They have. Look, I don't know everybody in the. I know who you could bring in. Who I like as a possible replacement for Boone.
I honestly, and to me, Boone. I mean, as bad as he is, I mean, I want him gone, but and here's the thing. I look at the thing. They're gonna bring in another yes man. It's just gonna be a different
Well,
face.
the Yankees have to learn you cannot have just a yes man. You have to have a manager who can control a ball club.
Yeah, and that's
What good has a yes man done in the last 8 years?
to me nothing. I've seen. I just seen lack of accountability. I don't see the fundamentals there. If you want to change the voice in, that's perfectly fine with me. The guys I wanted are already been taken. I wanted Frank Kona for us for a while. I
Who
wanted.
would I replace Boone with? I personally, I like a guy similar Jose Molina. I like him. I would look to a bench coach, the bench coach of maybe. And honestly, I wouldn't mind having Mattingly as the manager. I like
I
Man.
don't think. I don't think Manningly's coming back as a manager. Unfortunately,
No, he's not. But I think he's
he
had
he would.
success. He's had success in the Blue Jays. I wouldn't mind having Mattingly. I wouldn't mind having Jose Molina. He's been a former Yankee.
I
I
really like. I have like there's another one. That's Yadderly Molina from the
yeah,
Card.
that's his brother. I'm talking about
Yep.
his brother, Susan.
Yeah. No. And he looks like he'll be replacing the manager in the Cardinals when they go in a couple of years. That's what I read. Yadi's going to be back
Yeah,
as a Cardinals.
yeah. I'm talking about Jose. Jose,
Jose.
older brother.
He was a backup for us for a while. Good
Yeah,
mentor.
he was on the team for 2 years, I believe.
Yeah, he helped mentor some of the.
No, Yadier Molina only played for the Cardinals.
Yeah, Jose was his brother that we got in a trade, and then we had him for 2 years. He was really good. Everyone liked him on the team.
Yeah, that's. I think that's who I would like. I think Jose Molina would be a good manager.
I honestly think Molina would be a good manager. I would think Posada would be a really good manager, but
I don't. I'll tell you this: if Mattingly was not a manager, I don't think anybody in Monument Park is going to be managing the Yankees. Once you're in
well,
Monument Park as a player, you're not going to be a manager of the Yankees. They already made that. They did that. The last Yankee player that was the manager that in at well, and they put Billy Martin in Monument Park, but it was Joe Girardi. But before that, it was Billy Martin.
And we almost had Manningley before as a manager too, right before it was beat down to Joe Girardi and him when they first
Yeah,
interviewed.
they had a chance to hire Mattingly in 2008.
Yeah,
Oh, it looks like the Brewers just hit a home run. Now they're up 3-1.
that's gonna be the interesting with all these other players.
So here's a question: who do you think is gonna go? Who do you want to see in the World Series?
If it's me, I like to see the Blue Jays and the Dodgers.
Blue
And the
Jays,
reason why
Dodgers?
yeah, the reason why I say that, I want to see the Dodgers kick the shit out of the Blue Jays. That way they could, like, just then they could start playing on Canada while they're while they're in Dodger Stadium.
Well, that's
Just so they, just to show that the Blue Jays, you're not gonna beat the Dodgers.
well. I wouldn't mind. I would like to see the Mariners and the Brewers.
I like that's gonna be really good either one. But I like to see the Dodgers beat with the Blue Jays. That would just make my day.
One thing to remember is the Mariners has never won the World Series,
And they
and
had so many great.
I would like the Mariners just to make make Guerrero hide and run and hide under the rug.
I think it'd be better just to see him get there and just watch the
No,
Dodgers or the Brewers just
as I said, I think because Seattle has never won a World Series, I would like to see Seattle win it.
uh, that'd be interesting. Actually, one of the I don't like this that there's a customer that moved from that lived up in the Brewers, the Brewers owner apparently she moved back down to Connecticut. I'm not mentioning her name or anything, but he actually knew the owner, and told her that the Brewers actually had a really good farm system. Believe it. So I was like, it's kind of nice to see them doing well.
Yeah. Well, I think what I don't remember, but I believe the last time did they win in '82, the Brewers.
I
Is
think
that the
something
last
around.
time they made the World Series?
I think that's. I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
I really like.
the only time they made the World Series was in 1982, and they lost.
They have a really good team. That's the really scary part is that I really think we could have really used Durbin.
Yeah, I like Durbin. I didn't want to see him traded.
I
I
didn't
think
want to
he
see
would have
it.
been he probably would have been a good player for the Yankees, even though he was shorter. I think he was a contact bat, and he would have had a good glove, and that's what the Yankees needed.
And they could have played him at third base, exactly where we needed, instead of
Yeah,
trading for.
and so we wouldn't have to make the trade we did. We could have focused on another position of need.
Yeah, the other the other guy. What I'm wondering is, what do you think? What are your thoughts of for when you looked at the when you were watching the game? I mean, the last few games for
When I
specifically.
was watching the Yankees play, I thought they were it was a total embarrassment. They were swinging. The Yankees played like they didn't know what they were guessing on. They played like they were guessing. They were not being patient.
Yeah, no, I was.
They didn't work the pitcher. They didn't foul the balls off. They didn't. They didn't. They should have handled the Blue Jays like they handled the Pedro Martinez in the before in 2003. They used to always foul balls off, make him work, and definitely not let him have an 8-pitch inning. That was the one thing that was like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, no, the one thing I've noticed when I was watching it, it was the most frustrating part for me was watching second base and shortstop during the playoffs, specifically with Jazz yawning during the game. Um, that double play that should have happened that cost us pretty much game four.
Yeah, that double play was probably what ended the Yankees postseason. If they
That
win,
no, that
if they win Game 4, they also had chances to win. I think they had a chance to win Game 1, but uh, They also pulled the ball too much, hitting too many double plays. Didn't go to the opposite field. Never stole any bases. I think that they're not. They have to revamp this team to use more than just a home run. They
and
have to
that's
learn how to steal. They have to go back to the small fundamentals of baseball.
that's when I was looking. That's what I was watching it.
And
I
I
was
don't think
watching.
they will do that until they get rid of Boone.
Yeah, these because I'm not sure who we saw yesterday's one where I actually said about I don't really care about the launch angle. I don't care about the
Yeah,
all
that
this. I all that stuff doesn't is a mojo that's like thing. You just let the guy hit the ball where the ball is hit. That's what I got taught when I was going playing baseball. Why
yeah,
can't they do that?
and honestly, for pitching, I much prefer to have a guy who can throw 94, 95 with movement than a guy that can throw 99 to 101 as fast as you can and be wild. Have no control. I'd much rather have a nice a pitcher who can control his pitches.
That
Let's put it this way: my much rather have a Greg Maddox than an oldest Chapman.
I, I mean Chapman now can actually locate, but maybe your younger Chapman that
A
couldn't
younger
do.
Chapman, or anyway, Chapman also can only pitch 1 or 2 innings. Maddox
Yeah.
can give you a whole game.
The one I always thought Maddox or maybe someone like Mike Messina
Mike
moves.
Messina also. But that is
I, I
that is what baseball has moved away from, and I disagree. That
yeah,
I think they should go back to having pitchers because you'll have two benefits. If you throw with slower but with control, you will also protect the arm of the pitcher.
yeah.
And
I always
I don't know who decided that pitchers should throw as hard as they can at every pitch.
I I think that was from Moneyball, or they're talking about Moneyball or something like that. But
Moneyball, I don't know if it's Moneyball. I know Moneyball was about on base percentage for batters.
yeah, no, I think it evolved from Moneyball. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, I think I disagree. It's much more enjoyment. You'll have a much more enjoyable game if you're pitching maybe a 5-4 game for than if it's a blowout game. Baseball has always tried to have games exciting. I don't like the Ghost Runner. I think the Ghost Runner should go. If they have to have the Ghost Runner, put him in after the 11th inning.
Yeah, well, like I was saying, the CT. My thought process is, and I've been watching baseball for quite a bit. If you want to have a ghost runner, why doesn't it start at first base after the like 12th inning? Then maybe like the 14th or 15th, you start at second. If it does goes further than that,
Well,
like the
did
17th.
you watch the game yesterday?
Yeah, they had no
That
runners.
game, That game went 15 innings before they. It went 15 innings. That's old school baseball. That's
That,
enjoyable.
yeah,
That's
that's what
you
I
trying
like.
to hit the ball. The guy can lead off with a double, and then you try to get the runner over. That is exciting baseball.
Exactly. I hate this thing. I hate how they play
Yeah,
like that.
and I agree, Susan. They did it for COVID. You're not in COVID anymore. You can go back to regular baseball.
Exactly. That's how they used to do it on the back in the day, and I still love that. That's my favorite type.
Back in the day, it's only 6 years ago.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's been 6 years, and they should have got rid of it. I know I think the
Yeah.
commissioner said it, but the player union said no.
Well, back in the day, if you really want to go to back in the day, you would have batters hitting on a consistent basis above 330.
Yep, no, I remember that.
That
That's
is
what
that
I
is real back in the day. You'd have multiple players hitting above 330, and some of
that's
them
what
hitting above 350.
yeah, that's what I like to watch, Jonathan. That's what I talk about because I like these contact hitters that actually have high average and can get on base and not
And,
striking out, put the ball in
and,
play. That's the
and
complete play.
I brought this one subject first. Are you aware in the 98 team didn't have a 30 home run hitter and had 6 players hit above 290?
Yeah, I did, and then most of I think there was like 8 of them that had 20 home runs or more.
Yeah.
That's
The
that's
Tino on that team, Tino had 29 home runs, and that was the most on the team.
yeah, that's what I really like. So that's why I just like that's like what I look at it. You don't have to have all power hitters like they're trying to preach. Why can't they just look at that team and just say, okay, what made this team so great? A lot of contact hitting.
I think Jeter and A-Rod had the good comments after the game.
Yep, no, that's
Why don't you just take their opinions? I know they don't want to be GMs, but have them be a shadow GM and just tell Brian Cashman what to do for a year.
to me. I think when I look at it, I think this is something different. I like to see A-Rod as a manager, but it will never happen.
No, A-Rod would never be a manager, and neither would Jeter be. Jeter wants to be an owner of a team.
Yeah, no, I know that, and A-Rod would be the A-Rod to me is one of those guys that it would be interesting to see as a manager because he does get the analytics in that, but he would also probably be fighting it, like he said. A lot of this,
We used to have games that last 4 hours. That used to be
the norm.
a Boston Yankee game. Never lasted less than 3.5 hours.
Yeah, that's true. No one would listen to A-Rod, but it'd be great to see with the soap opera.
No,
But it,
I think I have to. There might be something bothering me now. I have to get something to drink. Anyway, thank you for letting me come on. We'll talk another time.
yeah, thank
Maybe during the uh, after the World Series, we could talk about the Rule 5 draft.
yeah, we can definitely do that, Jonathan. I know CT will be back.
Uh,
He came back, and we got to see Murky's some stuff that he's been dealing with personally. He's finally to be able to come back to, so it's going to be more people in the chats too. So it's
Finally went
cool.
to I went to a game in 2013. Yeah, I
Yeah,
actually never been. The only game I've ever been in Florida was the Yankee spring training game in Tampa. I've never been to Tropicana Field, and I've never been to the Miami Marlins Stadium.
yeah. I've been to Fenway. I've been to the old Yankee Stadium a bunch of times. I've been to the new Yankee Stadium once, and that
That's
was
it.
in Jeter. Well, I used to go before I also, Jonathan, this have been there's more other stuff going on with me, but
Yeah. No.
we used to go up from like 95 to like 2000, like all the good years. We used to go on right during July. We got to see Yankee Red Sox.
Yeah.
I got to go out with my family up there. That's what we used to do for a game.
Well,
Got
for
to see
me,
movies.
I've seen games in, obviously Yankees, Mets. I've been to the in New Stadium. I've been to Baltimore, Philadelphia, San Francisco, L.A. Dodgers, Seattle Mariners,
Yeah, my
and
cousin's
the
been
San
to see.
Francisco Giants.
My cousin's been to a bunch of ballparks. I actually, one of my cousins, actually was on the grounds crew for the Phillies.
Yeah,
Believe it or not.
the Phillies have a nice stadium. It was pretty nice.
Yeah, no, he was on the ground crew. He actually, I think he retired, if I remember right. But that year in 2009, when they won the World Series, they actually sent flowers to my cousins sent them to my mom, and we actually had that on for the whole year. That's the year that they won it. It was really interesting.
All right. Well, thank you again for having me on. I will we'll talk again at a different time.
Yeah, no problem, Jonathan. Anytime you want to come up, I always post the link on for you guys.
Yeah, I have to. I have to always remember when you come up because it's always different every day. I only know you came in. You were coming on because I saw the 2 hours before you started. I saw that you were doing an open
Yeah.
panel.
Yeah, I always write open panels. 90% of the shows are 99% of the shows are open panel. And
Uh,
unless we're doing an interview, which there's not a lot, we don't really schedule that. I mean, I interviewed CT Cards. We're supposed to interview a few other of our guys that are in the chats eventually, but we're just trying to just have fun, talk about this. This is like the best time. It's going to be interesting with this off season and
yes.
stuff and it's not just focused on the Yankees too. We can talk about the football. We can talk about hockey. We can talk about basketball. Any of this stuff. Like I said, it's all open. So you
Well,
guys, it's good. We can talk any of that. We're all game with that. That's why it's so awesome about this.
well, thinking about hockey, the rain. Did you look at any of the game? Did you watch the game tonight with the Rangers?
No, I didn't. I didn't get a chance to watch any of the hockeys. I've just been running
Well,
around like a mad.
The Rangers crushed the Pittsburgh. They
The
destroyed them.
Penguins.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
destroyed the final. It was 6-1.
Wow. Crosby must have got. Was it Sydney that got this still
Sydney
playing?
didn't do anything. The Rangers destroyed the Penguins today.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I'm transitioning to watching the football a little bit too. That
Yeah.
I, I love watching I like watching college basketball. I'm not really into the NBA like I used. I never really was a big NBA fan. I just like to watch the former UConn players like Richard Hamilton, Ray Allen, those
Uh,
type of guys.
Thank you, and I'll be going now. Talk to
Okay,
you
have
later.
a good one. And we're back to that. Yeah, no, I'm getting ready for basketball too, Susan. A lot. I like to watch these. I like to watch the UConn men play and the women. That's when I was grew up. 1990. That's when I got to see the. I was like, that's when I was born. March Madness, and that's when I got to see the UConn men finally, first time ever get to the. Got to go to the Sweet 16, and they thought that was a dream season. Well, it could be 9 years later. I'm up and watching that, watching their first championship game. That was awesome. Yeah, I really wish the basketball was on more, especially with that. I mean, it's nice to see the Giants actually win the against the Phillies. That's it. I'm surprised the Phillies, the whole place over there isn't burning yet. But it's been a great freaking stream. I love how everyone's there. Mm, Yeah, no, I like the Yukon and St. John's. They used to play all the time. That was always a fun to watch those games, Susan, for St. John's versus Yukon. That was a lot of fun watching those two teams go at it with the two good coaches back. It's as well. That was really fun. I I haven't really followed any of the basketball. Back when I was growing up, Michael Jordan was like the one team you player you watched, and I know you probably saw that too. I'm just not a big NBA fan like I was. I used to watch a lot of games, but it just became too soft for me watching it and then playing these things. Ever since Kobe stopped playing, to me, it just that the NBA hasn't been the same. It just became way too soft, and with these refs calling every flops and everything, just drove me. It just drives me nuts. And maybe if their UConn's playing the St. John's, maybe I'll do a play-by-play, or we can watch it together or something like that, Susan. That's something I'm willing to try. It's maybe I can find if I can get a. I'll have to get a laptop. Maybe I can put up the like a game cast on there. Yeah, I do remember the great. He was one of the. Wow, that's awesome, Susan. That is awesome. I got to. If you remember back in '99 for when UConn actually won the championship, there's a guy named Edmund Saunders. I actually had his autograph on a basketball, and the really cool thing about him is I actually got to meet him years later. He played at Europe, yeah, basketball. He said he just wanted the money instead of going to NBA with all the taxes. He said he got the real. They give you like, over in Europe. They gave you housing and everything and all cash, so it wasn't like as much tax. That's what he was telling me. But the cool thing about him was and when I was at that basketball camp, he asked me to dunk on the smaller when I was like I must have been in probably fourth or fifth grade about the dunk with the little kids, and we I did get to dunk on it, but not the bigger one. But we were playing 3-on-3 to see if we could score, and we hit the ball, and they didn't. I switched the three right on them. And he got to want to go further. It's one of the little highlights of my that I got to do. I remember from that. It's been a really great stuff. Yeah, Coach Bill Walkins was there. Then he had Jimmy. He had some really old school coaches. He had Jim Calhoun. You have the Syracuse guy. I probably forget his name. He was a really good one too. The men's Syracuse. So that guy was he's in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, UCLA. They had Coach K from Duke. He was a legend too. That was for college basketball. That was another one that's a legend. Yeah, all these Bill Walton, John Wooden. He had a lot of freaking good coaches in the basketball for them. It's been a long freaking day, but I'm glad I actually got it went live for you guys. That was actually a lot of fun. And Susan, if you ever want to come up here, I'll gladly put you on if you want it, if you're ever up for it. Yeah, Beagle, puppies do that. Some days are great and some days are bad. But just remember, enjoy them because enjoy your dogs and make sure you let them have the live your life to the fullest with these dogs because the real and like what I want to say is in a blink of an eye we're just it could be all gone. But I'm not wishing bad. I'm it just I Yeah, he teaching them off command. Awesome, dude. That's gonna be good because not to jump on people and other dogs. Yeah, and have a great night, Susan. We're gonna be I'll be in like in a minute. I got most of my dogs. I did do training with them before it. They still jump on people, but I always tell customers or when I'm walking them that if they want to pet them, let them calm down, let them sit because I do. They all know sit. They all know stay. I have my huskies actually do howl stuff for on command when I come home from days. It's one of the highlights of my one coming home from work. Hear them all howl at once. It's my one of those things. Yeah, 6 months. Yeah, no, 6 months. He'll be eagle. You'll be happy in a few more months. You should be knowing how to do all your commands if everything goes right. It's gonna be puppies are really tough. After you give them a year, they start to calm down a little. But I know huskies, it takes like 3 or 4 years. That's one of those things with me. My youngest one's 3 years old now, and finally starting to come down and catch those cues more. But it's been a great one. I'll make sure I'll shout out everyone in the chat that was on here. Thanks for Jonathan being on, having Merc on, Beagle, Susan. We had Real Bill on for a few minutes. It's been uh it's been really fun. And then if anyone else wants that I missed, I'm sorry, but it's really fun. I don't use shot collars, Beagle, or I don't use pull chains. I have like a rope. I have um, like a. It's like it's just like a regular rope that goes around, but it's not a choker one or anything like that. Um, Basically, it has a hole in it. It's like a slip-on lead, but it doesn't choke them. If they go too far, they don't can't they have to walk with it, not against it. It's one of those things. They also make one thing they do make Beagle is that they make tone collars for dogs that you can actually put around them. They're not a shock collar. It's um like a things where they have different tones that help with commands. They do have one of those things. I'll watch the video once I'm done, Beagle. I did post a small 10-second clip video on the channel with my dogs. Brewers just won, just to let you know. So there was the Brewers and Dodgers. Yeah, that's the one. I have a e-collar that beats too. I don't like those collars. I stopped. I had a dog trainer that tried it. We tried for a little bit for that, and me and my wife decided no, that's not cool for what they do. Um, I don't like these e-collars at all. I like the tone ones. It's going to be interesting with Dodgers and Brewers, and then we're gonna have Blue Jays and Mariners. Let's see, that was gonna be some interesting ones. I'm hoping Cashman's watching these and seeing what these teams or have in common and what we feel to do because I think if he watches any of these games, if they're paying attention, I love to see them see that. Yeah, no, those do help for the e cooler. Yeah, it came off in the kitchen when I was trying to jump on the counter. Yeah, those things come off. You have to have like two. If I remember how we had it connected there, and then we had like one of those bigger like collars that goes that cannot connects to on top of it, so it never would pop off. Um, but that's a whole different thing. You're supposed to have it kind of tight, and then you have to have this other thing. It's one of those weird things where I've done it before, but I don't like that with my dogs. But it's going to be an interesting that hopefully Cashman watches some of these. I think we have some of these good ones going on, but maybe they can fix the fundamentals, get even better because it was a lot better defensively this year than most. But at the same time, that the short and second are one of my those areas that I'm looking to see them upgrade. But thanks for everyone that's been in the chat, Susan, Jonathan, Merck. I know Real BOP was on there. So if I did forget someone, um, I'm sorry, like I said, but thanks for watching, and we'll be on probably Monday. I will see if I have any other videos I can probably dig up that's something short that you can see something a little of my life. But have a great night, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.